It's Tuesday morning on the Morning Review right here at Prime Media TV. I'm Ayo, bringing you all of the headlines that we have to be reviewed with you this morning. And as always, I have quite a number of headlines to be reviewed with you in the show today. But then, it's a attention from the Punch newspaper and Vanguard, and we'll be looking at them accordingly. But then let's start with the Punch. Still on Edo poll, PDP demands fresh collation as Labour Party Akpata alleges fraud. The PDP, the People's Democratic Party, on Monday officially rejected the Edo State governorship election results announced by the Independent National Electoral Commission and demanded an immediate review of the poll results by the electoral body. During a press conference in Abuja, acting national chairman PDP Umar Damagum called on Nigerians to support the party's rejection of the election results. The Independent National Electoral Commission announced on Sunday that Senator Monday Okpebholo of the All Progressive Congress won the Edo governorship election with 291,667 votes, defeating PDP's Aswe Ighodalo, who garnered a total of 247,274 votes, and the Labour Party's Olumide Akpata, who came third with 22,763 votes. But then, in another development, on the front page of Vanguard, we see here that the the PDP is directing to APC and INEC. They said we'll meet APC INEC in court to retrieve mandate. And the story says that less than 24 hours after the Independent National Commission, INEC declared Senator Monday Okpebholo of the All Progressive Congress (APC) as the winner of Edo State governorship election. The PDP has vowed to go to court to retrieve its stolen mandate. So here is the conversation that we are diving into today. And for the fact that my co-host here said he has been with the Mr. President to have some conversation with him, maybe you by chance visited Benin, Edo State to give us updates as regards what is happening. But then the results came out. Since yesterday, we've been discussing, we're having this conversation. But then let's look at this part of PDP taking INEC and APC to court. What are your thoughts on the stories?
Okay, on Friday, I was in Edo State, Benin City precisely, and I was fortunate. I was able to have some conversation with the people of Edo, and from all most people were saying, it actually showed that the people of Edo State wanted the PDP candidate. From all that was happening, I had interaction with several of them, and most of them, all of them, were saying the same thing. They were tired of, they don't want the APC government. But how, with all these massive expectations of the people, that the APC people still find their way into power is what I cannot explain, because normally the securing the position should be by the voting of the people.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So if you don't enter through the door, then how do you get into the seat? So now, talking about the PDP taking the people to court, well, I can tell you from what has been in existence under this in our political sector, in our the government in Nigeria, that people don't get justice. The judiciary, the court should be a place where people can confidently go to secure their rights. But it's not like that in Nigeria. People don't get justice in Nigeria. People don't get their rights secured in the court of law in Nigeria, and it's a problem. Well, that doesn't cancel the fact that that other people did not get it right. Does not mean it will always be like that. So if the people of Edo State and the people of PDP have said that the election did not reflect the interest of the people and they wish to go to court, I want to believe that, judging from what has happened, maybe during the presidential case, election case, and all that, the people might have a better way.
Yeah.
They might have gotten a clue on how to go about it. Maybe how the former people did it, that they didn't do it well. I'm sure the PDP will buckle up and know how to go about this case in court. And we hope that they get justice in court.
Yeah, definitely. That's the word. And I'm just looking at the IREV results that was posted on their platform. The result here shows that PDP has a total vote of 314,667 votes. That's the collated result on IREV. And the APC has a total vote of 223,619. And I'm just looking at the final result that is announced by INEC. This is what IREF posted on their portal as the final result for this election. But then look at all of the discrepancies that we see happening. The only thing that can cause PDP to have of upper hand here is when they can lay hold on evidence. But then there was a video that I saw yesterday where some ballot papers were burnt. And these are actually part of the evidence that they could have used to prove that, okay, these are the things that we have done, or these are the papers that we are able to collate, or the ones that these people did not count. But then they have been burnt. So it brings me to ask questions on credibility of their arguments, that okay, you said you are at upper hand, because I'm not saying the possibility of INEC recounting the vote, but I don't know about you. Are you seeing that possibility?
You see, the truth of the matter is that this, in as much as ballot paper were used, but there's equally a digital involvement. The people thumb printed, right? And see, one thing I would say is that
I think the thumb printing is done on the paper.
There's from the what is it called, the during the presidential election, you thumbprint on the paper, you thumbprint. There's also a system where the people thumbprint. So there's digital involvement in this electoral system, and of course that system is what should be used. That is what IRF is giving. That is what IRF is giving us this. All right. So IRF cannot be lying. If the system has not been trusted, it won't be used. What I would just say is that you asked the question, the possibility of PDP getting justice. You see, I want to say that the people of Edo State needs to support the PDP. All right, all of them might not move to the court. They need to support the PDP to ensure that the actual person they want to be their leader is the one that is installed as their leader. All right, because whoever imposes himself on people cannot do the will of the people. All right. So if it's not possible to find your way by hook or crook into position and listen to the people, is one of the reasons why we are going through what we are going through in the country. If the people vote you, you want to ensure that you listen to the people.
Definitely.
All right. So we don't want a repeat of what is happening in Nigeria now. It will now be a double problem. If we now have it coming from the federal level and also from the state level, because if you are not voted in by the people, somebody placed you in a place, you will do the business of that person. So it will be a double torture for the people of Edo State if at the end they are unable to reclaim their mandate. If at the end the person that is serving as their governor is somebody who maneuvered his way into power, he is not going to listen to them. And we already have that problem from the federal level. The federal government are not listening to the people. So if you can have a president who is not listening and a governor who is not listening, it will be a double problem. And that is why the people of Edo State must ensure, having gone to vote, they've done part one. Now ensuring that their mandate and the person they voted for is the person on seat is the second thing. So if you don't finish it, it will not be like the first effort was a wasted one. So they need to support every move the people are making. For anything that must be done, somebody must take the lead. So if the PDP have decided to take the lead, like I said earlier, everybody in Edo State cannot move to the court. All right, so let them give their support to the people of PDP and every that are ensuring that. Now, I love the LP candidate. He's not saying he won. but he's saying that there is fraud.
Mm.
All right, so it's not about him now, but he knows that he's saying that there is fraud. So such people can join forces together and ensure that the people's choice is the one in power. That is what I can say to the people of Edo State.
Yeah, definitely. And for PDP, that is saying that there's a lot of discrepancies. I like that we don't argue with words of mouth. They should provide enough evidence that shows the irregularities. And I think it is also a good time for us to test the credibility of the judicial system in Nigeria. If the judicial system, now is actually a time for them to clear their names. Now is the time for them to, because a lot of Nigerians are saying the judicial system in Nigeria cannot be trusted, because we saw what happened in 2023 election. On the long run, somebody that we all know how they got up there, the judicial system said that okay, he was the one that won the election. Thank God, we were having a back conversation earlier that thank God Peter Obi is the type that just wants to let it go, take it soft and all of that. But then now is also the time for the judicial system to prove their own credibility, to clear their names. That okay, you said you want to tackle this issue in court. No problem. Provide enough evidence.
Talking about proving credibility, you can only prove what you have. On a serious note, the judiciary in Nigeria today, even a little child does not have any confidence in the judiciary. You see, what happened during the 2023 election is enough. It has killed their image. And there is no, things has keep on, you see, do you want to talk about the unconstitutional arrest of people and everything, policies that have been coming that they are not saying anything about. We know what the judiciary should be doing for the people of Nigeria that they are not doing. So there is nothing like credibility attached to the judiciary of Nigeria.
At least for them to clear their names.
There is no how they can clear it, because what the problem we are suffering currently in the country is as a result of their backing effort to all the irregularities. We saw, you see, 2023 election was not just not just about people talking. They were, glaring evidences that things went the wrong way. And it was very clear. It was broad day robbery, and they didn't say anything till now. Nobody has done anything. So, to me, in Nigeria today, there is nothing like credibility attached to the judiciary of Nigeria, because we all know what is happening, and it has gotten to the point where we don't close our mouth. It has gotten to the point where we cannot bend our mouth or choose words. We will say things the way they are. There is nothing like credibility attached to the judiciary sector in Nigeria.
Yeah, definitely. As much as we know that, but there's something that I see happening back to back in the country. There are a lot of voices who want to stand up for the truth, but because their voices are not loud enough, it looks as if those voices are not available. I believe that even in the judicial system, as corrupt as the system is, as much as we have a lot of persons who would always maneuver the truth or do something to cover up the truth for the truth. There are also some persons who are willing to provide the support, but because their voice is not loud enough, that's why I'm still insisting that PDP should not just be based on a mere talk or word banter on media. If truly they know that the election result has been tampered with, there is an evidence on IREV already. You collated it. You have over 300,000 votes. Now is even the time to devise a lot of intelligence to keep track of those information, because trust me,
you don't get wiped.
Yeah, so that it doesn't get, because you can actually go to that portal now and see that the figure has changed and all of that. Like, for instance, what I saw as at yesterday is different from what I'm seeing now. There's a lot of discrepancy ongoing now. So it is high time for them to deploy intelligence to ensure that those informations that they have, as they keep on changing per time, they also take note of those information and see that, okay, these are ways in which they've tampered with this. So even if at the end of the day, they don't end up getting justice in court, the evidence is out there. And you see, one thing about evidence is that they would always be available for people to see that, okay, this is how these people got into the system. For instance, we cannot directly say that APC won the election because Mr. President had predicted predicted in 2022 that if they want Edo State, he would give it back
To
to
them.
them. Mr. President had once said if he had his way before he became the president, he would change the national anthem. And when he had his way, he did change it. And we see that all of those things were fulfillment of promises. So those evidence are there for people to see that, okay, oh, this is a promise made by Mr. President years ago. He has
And
become
at all
the president
costs.
at all costs. Now he has fulfilled those promises. So even if they did not win, Nigerians can still have access to those information, and those information will be useful for a time when the judicial system in Nigeria becomes really stable, become trustworthy, they begin to uphold the truth, then you would see that, okay, these evidence are available. So they shouldn't just trash the evidence. So let me hear your final thoughts on this story, then we'll move on to another conversation.
You see, I'll take it from what you just said now, that the time will come where the judiciary in Nigeria will be sanitized.
Yeah.
You see, truly, until then, people can't get justice in court. Until then, many people have lost hope. But like you said, that the PDP should by now develop intelligence that ensure that whatever that is a backup as a proof to whatever to their claims should be secured.
Yeah.
All right, because in court they make do with evidence.
Definitely.
Right, so they need to ensure that the enemy do not outsmart them. And again, I would say that it's a big shame that in power you want to be in a place where the people don't want you. Nobody leads himself. All right, a leader does not lead himself. A leader without a follower, I don't know how to describe such a leader. So you cannot be imposing yourself or imposing people on people and expect a good result.
Definitely.
Sincerely, like I said, I took time to walk around Edo State, and the state's capital. What I saw, it does not reflect any form of even the people of Edo State. Some of the I was with some guys who graduated from Uniben for years, and they confirmed it to me that the particular places we visited has been like that, even while some of them say they graduated 2018, some said 2016, thereabout. That space is still the same way. This is one of the effects of bad governance.
Yeah, definitely.
This is one of the result of people, finding themselves into power without due process. Because if you get into power with due process, you will serve the people.
Yeah.
You would want them to willingly want you again. I could remember the case of Ayo Fayose of Ekiti State. There was a time the man came, he did well in his first tenure. And in one way or the other, he was removed and, voted out. I don't know whether voted out or rigged out. We now have voted out and rigged out.
Definitely.
Voted in and rigged in. So, but when the people that rigged him out were unable to do the things he was doing, he came again. And the people willingly voted him in. All right. So it should be like that you come and the people are happy that you serve them well.
Yeah.
You might not be able to touch all the places, all the problems in the state, but at least there will be evidence to prove that you actually served your people. They will willingly want you to serve again.
Yeah.
All right. So that should be the point Nigerian government should be heading to, not imposing people. And as a president, you want to determine at all costs what happens in a state. Just imagine what Wike is doing now in Nigeria. He's in FCT today and is causing problem in River State. It's not supposed to be so. So I want to say that our leaders should know that regardless of how powerful you think you have become, you are not more powerful than God. You are not going to live forever.
Definitely.
And there's always something we must not forget. There's something we must not forget. What becomes of you when you are out of power? What will the people say of you? What will become of you when you are no longer, when you are no more? What becomes of your children? What becomes of your relatives when you are no more? What will be said of them? These things should matter. And no matter how bad the economy becomes, you cannot wipe out Nigerians.
Definitely.
And the time will come that you'll be out of power.
Definitely.
Then, you said something that when the judiciary system will be sanitized. I love that because there is a time that will happen.
Definitely.
And we'll now see what becomes the end of all the people that have been looting and giving bad policies that is affecting the people in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Until then, let's see what happens.
One thing that our leaders don't take note of is that at the end of all of these things, what will posterity say of you? at the end of all of these things, and I was listening to Sarah Ibrahim earlier. Okay, I read a tweet from Sarah Ibrahim this morning, and she's saying that you cannot fight a corrupt system that has been existing for over 50 years when you just started fighting it in 2 years. It will take time to build capacity to fight against it. It will take time for you to build intelligence, for you to gather enough intelligence to fight against the system, because trust me, the system has been there for a long time, even before you were born.
It has established roots.
Yeah, exactly. Its root is established. So you can't just come and uproot it like that. You need a lot of, you need to study the time. So you can't give up. And that was our word. In fact, I had to give, if it is possible for me to give that post 1 million like, I would have done that. But then on this note, this is all we'll be able to take on this segment. We'll be going on a quick break, and as soon as we get back, we'll dive into another conversation. So please stay with us. We'll be right back.